Hey guys, what's going on? Coming at you guys with another video. And today I'm going to be reviewing what an 8 spline crankset is. And I'm going to be explaining the pros and cons of an 8 spline. And basically just pricing and a whole bunch of other things we're going to get into about cranks today. So first thing off, let me explain to you guys what an 8 spline is. So if you look at the spindle, you see the ridges here. Those are the splines. If you count them, there are 8. And the cranks have the same pattern in the inside of them, which are designed to go on like that to fit the spindle. Just like this. See that? And then you would thread your bolts in the insides and stuff. If you guys don't know the difference between 3-piece cranks and 1-piece cranks and stuff, I will be making a video about that soon. But yeah, man, we have some old school ramp cranks here. So yeah, the 8 spline is the splines on the spindle. So say if you have a 48 spline, but you have cranks designed for an 8 spline, it will not work. You cannot mismatch them. Vice versa, if you have a 48 spline spindle, but you have 8 spline cranks, they will not fit on the spindle. They will not go together. So, that's what an 8 spline is. So now we're going to be talking about the advantages and disadvantages of the 8 spline compared to the 48 spline. So to start, your average 8 spline cranks, cranksets are going to be cheaper than the 48 spline. But because of how aggressive, I keep bumping the table, because of how aggressive the splines are on the spindle, and with everything factoring in, this actually weighs a good bit if you've never felt one of these. 8 spline, from what I understand, weighs more than 48 spline, which is a reason why people run the 48 spline. And so yeah, we'll get into the disadvantages after the advantages. So the advantages of an 8 spline crank set is they are cheaper. They're going to cost less. And it's more of a, if you buy a complete bike and stuff, most likely this is what most, like 90% of complete bikes are going to come with, is this setup right here. 8 spline. So it's more common for people who are just getting into BMX and who know 3-piece cranks. This is probably the first type you're going to run into, is an 8 spline, because they are more common. 48 spline is more of an aftermarket thing, but 90% of the complete bikes you're going to find, they come with the 8 spline crankset. So now time to talk the disadvantages of an 8 spline. crankset. So first off, it's heavier. They are actually heavier than the 48 spline. And I wish I had a 48 spline to show you guys, so I can show you the difference. But 48 spline is just, the ridges are smaller and stuff on the actual spindle. But your traditional 8 spline is going to be heavier. Most likely they're going to have less strength as well. And another thing that I've really find annoying about the 8 spline is a lot of times, even if you tighten the bolt down as much as you can, your cranks will still get loose as you ride, as you do gaps, as you do hard landings. Excuse me. They're gonna come loose and they're gonna start wiggling. So, even if you tighten these bolts as much as you can on here, and as you ride, they're still going to get loose. They're always going to get loose. Never understood why, but has something to do with, I guess, the gap in between each spline is what I'm guessing. But yeah, those are disadvantages. So overall, would I recommend buying 8 spline? So if you are somebody who is trying to build a bike but doesn't have $100+ to spend on a crankset, then go for the 8 spline, because 3-piece are better than your 1-piece cranks that come on like Walmart bikes and stuff. So if you have over $100 to spend on cranks, if you really are trying to get the best parts, I would go at 48 spline over 8 spline. But if it's all the money you have and you just need cranks at the moment, 8 spline will do you well. I know the Rant Bangin' 8, they're good 8 spline cranks. I always recommend Rant. The Sunday Saker ones are pretty good as well, but the Rant ones are lighter, and they offer just a little bit more strength. But those are two good choices for cheaper 8 spline cranks. They're between $40 and $60, something like that. So if you absolutely don't have the money to spend on cranks, 8 spline is fine. But if you have the money to get a 48 spline, I highly recommend going with 48, because they're just going to be lighter and they're going to give you a little bit more strength. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel. And check out our Instagram, Lifestyle X Entertainment, and go ahead and go follow us. I'll put it at the top of the screen here. Thanks everybody for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this video helped you guys out and buying your next set of cranks.